there is always a talk of what could happen to select uh, asset quality or liability franchisees, and how the outcome would be, or what are the risks to those kind of particular books. In some sense, your asset quality outcomes kind of would you reckon, Mr. Kousgi, negates or refutes the skepticism that may be there? How would you think of addressing that?
See, we are part of the industry, part of system, and therefore I don't want to isolate Canfin from the industry. But having said that, I think we have a very strong mechanism. We have a very strong underwriting team. We have a very stringent selection process, and we manage our customers well. We know our customers very well. Now, having said that, see, whenever there is increase in interest rates, so the affordability will come down for the new customers. And for the old customers, I think the EMI burden goes up if there is no scope to increase tenure. And therefore, the risk of default will increase. And that is why they say when the interest rate goes up, when the interest rate goes up, default will increase. Or when the price of the apartment goes up, affordability, to that extent comes down. And therefore, it could have an impact if people stretch and go in for a larger size apartments. That's the reason. So what we do is we take care of these two things in our assessment process. And to that extent, our risk is lower. Otherwise, generally speaking, when the interest rate goes up drastically, default rate will increase. For Canfin, if you look at last 8-10 quarters, asset quality has been very good. NPA has been pretty stable in spite of COVID, in spite of moratorium, in spite of restructuring, 1 and 2 resolution. I think our NPA has been pretty stable. That's only because, we take care of all these things. All these things are inbuilt in our assessment model.
The thing about Canfin also, Mr. Kousgi, is the point that you've had, you could argue, except for certain instances, near consistent performance. Now, my question to you is, because bases are higher, because economic growth scenarios are different world over and in India, what's your sense of confidence about how consistently can you grow, and what's the nature of that consistent growth going to be going ahead? I don't mean just the next 3 quarters. I mean, arguably the next 3 years.
I'm saying for next 5 years, Canfin can grow at about 18%.
Okay, with similar performances on asset quality.
Yeah, there could be slight difference, maybe plus or minus 10 bips here and there. Otherwise, I think asset quality is going to be very good. GNPA will be pretty stable. So now we're at 0.65%. I think the worst could be about maybe add another 10 or 15 bips, maybe up to 0.8, whatever I'm just saying on the extreme side. So asset quality will be pretty stable.
Okay,
because we have seen this both in good times and bad times. Even in bad times, our asset quality was pretty good. Our NPA went up to 0.99%. And this happened during COVID, immediately after COVID. And that too because, this is based on deemed NPA. Because we had to, we got dispensation from RBI because of COVID. Had we not got the dispensation, our NPA would have been 0.99%. So which is deemed NPA. So from 0.99%, now again we are back to 0.65. Because now it's a reality. Then it was notional. Now it is reality. Because all those customers who opted for that benefit are now paying. And therefore now it's a reality. And now it's back to 0.65. So our NPA would be about, max could be about 0.8. That's all, about 15 bips higher than what it is currently. So it will be pretty stable, in the years to come.